So the agreement that was reached with the Alchiondac Order, what he wants you guys to do is figure out what Coronu's involvement is in all this.
Yeah, and it sounds like he doesn't really have an involvement. Well, no, he does, because he said the players are supposed to help him.
I would like Riot, Serenity. Actually, everybody Mahogany can make this roll. Make an insight check.
Okay. It's a 15 for me.
Okay.
7.
Kelian
7's not going to do it.
Kelian's is 26.
Okay. As he's going over the finer details, as you guys are kind of discussing what you're going to tell Coronu when you go back, how he's telling you it's fine to just report to Coronu the truth, he doesn't want you to lie or anything, it becomes clear over the course of the conversation to you guys, he doesn't know of anybody other than Coronu. He doesn't know of the existence of the Watcher. He doesn't know of Coronu's companions on the Prime Material.
Well, the man just said that keep information back where you have to.
Yeah.
Mahogany is alive
What's
again,
going
yes.
on?
Mahogany's been raised. Right now he's in water Genasi form, and he's sitting on top of a Tensor's floating disc in the middle of the table, and a very upset-looking Modron is glaring at him.
Riot climbs up on the table and gives him a hug. You're back!
Alright, did I fall in a river this time? Or...
You temporarily died.
What do you remember about being a bear?
You remember everything. The sensation is very displeasurable to you now that you have your Genasi recollection back.
I think I was a really good bear?
You were the best bear. You were a
You
very good bear.
you were very bare.
Oh, he's a druid! Why didn't anyone tell me?
What?
This
right.
is Ferocity talking now.
Okay, yeah. Nodal, you gotta do a voice, or I'm gonna get real confused.
I am doing a voice!
That's just your voice!
It's a little hard to pick up, but yeah, Nodal is doing a voice.
Okay.
Oh!
Don't worry, Nodal. I picked up on it right away.
Me too.
Nodal, here's what you can do. Level up Ferocity to level 4. That makes her far and away the strongest member of your little adventurers guild. Everybody except Mahogany. This includes Ferocity, I suppose, for what it's worth. Everybody except Mahogany. Add 12 influence with the Alchiondac Order.
Okay.
Riot, you take 14.
Okay.
I can't spell Alchiondac.
Just follow your heart.
It's spelled A-L''K-A-N. K-A-Y-A-N-D-A-K.
That is not at all close.
Yep.
That is
it.
nowhere near.
That's how I've written it down on all my
That
notes,
is-
and
that's
that's
how
how
it is.
That's what we're
Write
going
it down.
with.
Going
We have
forward.
overruled you, Brick Road. That is how you spell it.
What was the other thing, too? Mario's definitely not fucking 26, also.
Who's
Ooh.
Oh, did you
What?
guys not hear that? So, Sakura Miyamoto said that Mario's about 26.
No, he said he's like 35, didn't he?
No,
He was
he
really
said he's about
old.
26.
Okay.
And
what
that's
relevance
fucked
does
up.
this have to the Alchiondac
It
Order?
was just a joke. Listen,
Wow.
jokes are hard.
They are. Are you leveling up your
They're
cat girl
very
over
hard.
there?
Absolutely not. You think I could go from 1 to 4 while also paying attention?
But make a note that you have your level 4 character. So
Yeah.
you can place her however you want in the Adventurers Guild, but she's going to hold a position of some esteem because she's been in the shit, man.
Let me just say, briefly, that Riot, with her mouth sealed shut, showed Ferocity so much how to be a bard with that handicap that she was able to go to level 4.
Well, that and Ferocity got experience from killing
Then
the
she should go to
Invisiman
level
in the
4
heart.
as a priest. Is what you're saying.
What other
You could
business
do
do you
2 and
guys...
2.
What other business do you guys have here with the Alchiondacs that you want to hash out, if anything?
Let's see.
I can't think of anything else.
I want to ask. Oh, okay. I have one relevant question, one totally irrelevant question.
Okay.
I'm likely to want to get in touch with you again. I know sending. Who would you prefer I cast it on?
They turn to the Anarch, sitting at the table. And she tells you she'll give you access to a portal that will bring you close to the tower.
No, I don't mean visiting here again. I can cast message. If I ever have a question for you guys, as happens, who would you prefer I contact?
Gerald says you can contact him. He would prefer you don't do it too often.
All right.
And I need to save this image real quick.
Not message, I meant sending.
He knew what you meant. It's fine.
Okay.
I
Kelian
mean,
wants to know.
you're not a warlock. It's not like you can do sending 4 times.
Yeah. And I guess the other question is, who are the other 5 members of your order in case we run into?
I don't have their names or identities yet,
That's fair.
but it's not an issue because Gerald wouldn't tell you anyway.
Okay.
Gerald is the leader, the current headmaster of the order.
Can I ask, will they be wearing your robes so we can identify them in case?
Yeah, I
we
was going to
ever
ask, do they have any identifying marks, symbols on there?
He says, typically yes, unless it is disadvantageous to do so.
Are there any members of their order here that aren't part of their team?
Any members? The only person here that's not a player or an Alchiondac is the Anarch.
Oh, and Ferocity.
Well, right, and Ferocity. Ferocity's not anything.
Frosty's joining the order.
Kelian is curious as to how they got so good at gathering information.
The Alchiondac Order's mission statement is to puncture the boundaries of the multiverse. Their ultimate goal, which Jero will talk at great length for as long as Kelian is interested, is to gain access to hypothetical planes of existence that no known knowledge exists of. They want to discover lost elemental planes. They want to find the theoretical Orgel plane. They want to discover unknown prime material planes. That's the game that they're in.
That's their end goal. And okay.
And in pursuit of that goal, they have gained a large amount of magical and metaphysical knowledge.
Okay. That's the stuff Kelian's really curious about.
What's the difference between magical and metaphysical?
Gerald also explains that at great length for as long as you'd like to listen, and it doesn't make any sense to you.
It's good to have you back, Mahogany.
How do we
an
get
image
back
over here.
home? Where's the? I guess close doesn't really have a meaning here, but where's the easiest way to back to Sigil?
The Anarch can supply you with a portal. She'll take you to the
The
second
lady
floor.
allows that?
What's that?
The lady allows that?
Well, the portal already exists. All she has to do is make an archway for it to connect to here.
Oh, okay.
That's really convenient.
That's clever.
Why does Photoshop keep crashing? I can't save this image, which means I can't upload it to Imgur, which means I can't put it on my table.
But tell me how you really feel.
You think it stems from your inadequacies? No, I'm just kidding.
As the Anarch is leading you out onto the open balcony area, 16 out there, she thanks you for rescuing her fellow Anarch from whatever fate had befallen him.
Is he going to be okay?
Yeah.
He's alive, and any damage that was done can be repaired with time and training. Whether or not he will be able to continue to shape the chaos as he once did will remain to be seen.
It seemed like he had a pretty good grasp of it, even when he was. When he was. I don't really want to talk about that.
Do you have anything like real, like not limbo? Because I mean, I went on my first adventure and all, and it was really great. But I'd really like to get some treasure. I could show it to people,
So
like
you
a button.
I went to Limbo and all I got was this stupid t-shirt.
That's exactly what Ferocity wants.
No, they do not give you a
Right.
t-shirt.
Riot digs around in a pack and says, "Here, you can have this special rope."
Wait,
That's messed up, yo.
It's yours now.
So,
I'll treasure it always.
without going into extreme detail, what is the report to Corinu?
The Alchiondac Order was looking up information on the Cartensian Brotherhood. That was their holding business there. They will trouble you no further.
And you're doing this through message, I'm assuming? Or sending, rather?
Yes, and
Over the course of the next amount of time, however long it takes, Corinu presses you for details about whether or not these Alchiondac people are dangerous.
no, they won't hurt us. I mean, we went through some trouble in their tower, but they're not going to hurt us again, and they're not dangerous to you either. They're mostly harmless academics.
We actually left with more people.
So, what is Ferocity's swan song before she leaves the active group to become your official henchman?
I don't really have one at the moment.
No?
Right?
She's just really happy.
Then Riot will go up to her and say, "Listen, I'm sorry about snapping at you back there. It was a tense situation. We'd been through a lot. I want to make amends, and I also am a little concerned about you because I heard your story, and it sounds to me like you just went and signed up with the first faction you ran into. Is that true?"
Well, I mean, not exactly. I ran into some Chaos Men.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Listen.
join the Chaos Men.
No, you don't want to join them. You also probably don't want to join the Sensates. Let me tell you about the Revolutionary League.
Oh, lovely.
I'm not 100% sure that's a faction. It's really confusing.
It is.
Who's your factal?
It says that's the beauty of it. We don't have to answer to any factal.
I think his name is Diller?
He's the most dangerous man in Sigil.
So, does Ferocity find Riot's invitation persuasive?
No, not really.
So,
But she does like Riot. Because Riot is one of the 5 people in Sigil who have been nice to her.
so
And only vaguely.
what is Ferocity's position in the Adventurers Guild?
I think for at least the short term, until I come up with something more ridiculous, she's gonna be their go-to identify person because she wants to learn more about the Sensates, and it seems a lot safer to get cool stories after she identifies things.
By which you mean you're going to cast the Identify spell?
Yes.
Dolphinder will be very, very happy to hear that.
Riot, do you try and swing her to the anarchists Well, within earshot of everyone else, or when you have her alone?
Probably within earshot of everyone else. I mean, as we're walking back through Limbo on the way back to Sigil.
And Serenity will be like, no, look, the sensates are pretty alright. Like, they might go a little overboard sometimes, and some of them are a little crazy, but...
You see,
they're not
overboard
worse
and
than-
crazy. Overboard and crazy. You don't want that in your life.
They're like...
No, you just want to join the faction without a factal.
They're
That's
like
totally
in the
not
top
crazy.
half of non-insane factions. That's pretty good.
I don't think I want to be a cipher either.
So let me tell you about the Godsman.
Will Ferocity find any of these arguments persuasive?
Ferocity's
Well-
happy being a sensei.
Okay. Then we'll,
Kelian is not making an argument that she should be a taker, so...
I mean, Serenity isn't making an argument that she should be a cipher anyway, because if you're going to be a cipher, it's just what you do.
Riot.
Mhm.
Korunu teaches you a gnomish word.
Oh
And
my god, no. Please.
Oh my god.
Oh, please, I hope it is. I hope it is.
Would you like to venture a guess?
Luluihu Luluahe.
Something like that.
I'm pretty sure it was. Well, yeah.
There is an abandoned mine
Mhm.
on Shurok, which is the rugged layer of Bytopia, deep into some gnomish territories. And this word, when spoken at the entrance of the mine, will lead you to some woods on the prime material plane. It's a small wooded area within the walls of a city. In this city, you will find a high temple to Osprey, and he instructs you to speak with the priest there.
Wait,
He
so
t-
I missed some of that. I got the gnomish word. You speak it at some where are the abandoned mines at?
In Shurok on Bytopia.
In Sherrock, on Victopia.
Sorry,
I have to
know
check
where it
Twitch
is.
chat to see if McLean's going nuts.
He is
Oh,
very
yeah.
much going nuts.
He is. Nice. And he tells you, in his stern, Korunu sort of way, that if this word or the location of this portal is shared with anyone else, if you betray his trusts, he will bend all of his strength in the Plains Militant to ending you.
Understood.
That he is placing in you and your companions a confidence, and to betray it would be the greatest sin you could commit against him.
Listen, Courtney, we're all on the same side here. You don't have to worry about me.
And then Riot immediately says, "Hey, Horus Hatches, I need maybe 10,000 more handbills."
Right.
And then she realizes, fuck, I don't know how to spell it.
So,
Kelian's kind of offended at that.
I need to
Kelian
go
has
ahead.
been nothing but up on the up and up with Kornu. So,
No,
whatever.
Kelian can learn the word, but he's saying you can't share it outside of your group. He's not entrusting everybody else with it.
Yeah.
Don't tell Ferocity the word.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a bad idea.
Got this new song.
Lippy-hoo, lily-wee-lay.
if you go to Mytopia. The song is just the instructions.
What preparations do you guys make before heading out?
I can't remember. Have we been to Bytopia before? We go there all
Oh
the
yeah,
time, don't we?
lots of
Yeah.
times we go there for
Yeah. Yeah, that's our
picnics. We literally go there for picnics.
That's right. Yeah. Gnomish territories. I'll go and ask the middle bobs if they know any how to get to like the deep gnomish territories on Bytopia.
They do, but they don't do a lot of. I mean, they don't do a lot of trade in that area of Shurok. Shurok is the more rugged, industrious layer. There's a lot less. There's a lot fewer like trade routes back and forth.
Yeah, that's fine. We don't need you to show us the way. We're just asking for directions.
Wait, did you mean the deep gnomish territories or the deep gnomish territories?
Deep in gnomish territories.
Did you mean where Serenity grew up?
Would you expect there to be?
Groups.
Would you expect there to be Sverf Neblin on Bitopia? I guess there would be.
Maybe petitioners.
Deep
Nick,
in
you
the
were
mountains.
literally asking about Serenity's backyard.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that probably slipped Riot's mind.
Yeah.
I just need to real quick mark some time on the
Serenity.
calendar.
Not all gnomes live in the same place.
So Serenity, you know the
Put it
place. You know the place where you guys, where this portal is.
Mhm.
It is miles away from anything. There are no settlements in this area of Bitopia.
Sounds great.
The mine was cached eons and eons ago. And the current date is Gralember the 27th.
Mhm.
It's going to be a 3-week journey every time you want to use this portal.
Wow. Maybe
This
they make
is-
this one count then.
This is overland travel in Bitopia, which means it's not going to be... it won't be dangerous as far as like getting attacked, but it will be
Time consuming.
time-consuming, and it's hard, rugged terrain. Lots of climbing, lots of fording rivers.
Whatever,
Living off
when
the road.
Mahogany learns how to turn into a plane.
This is literally what Serenity is good at, though, guys. So it's not like
Oh,
particularly dangerous.
that's right. She can forage for everybody for free all the time.
Yeah.
This is on my character sheet.
Okay.
This
So-
is literally in Serenity's wheelhouse.
Can we, if we have the experience, level up in Sigil before we go?
Yes, please do. Take care of everything you want to do in Sigil, and when you guys give me the word, I will go ahead and knock 3 weeks off the calendar, and we'll shoot on into the next scene.
Level 10 is 64,000.
I'm within spitting range of level 11, but
I'm not
You guys
10 yet.
piled on a lot, because everybody was
I also-
almost at the next level before you went to
Oh
the...
yeah, I am level 10.
I forgot to level up to 9. I think I actually should have been 9 already.
What is
Over that
level 10?
4-week break or whatever. 64 and then
Yeah, I'm
see,
like
6.
1,000 short.
85. And I'm at 74.
And I think Mahogany was able to go to 10 too, right?
Oh yeah, I was on 10.
And by 10 too, I mean hot pants.
Yep. Mahogany's now running
Um,
hot pants.
Magic Girl transformations?
Yeah.
That's his new wild shape? So depending on what he wild shapes into, he gets different bonuses depending on the sequence he uses. Alright.
All right, listen. If you guys wanted ferocity in this party, you had your chance.
So I know what I want to do, and I have no idea how I want to accomplish it. But
Okay,
I
what's-
want to make sure that no one is tracking us or following us, or just making sure, keeping in the spirit of what Cornu wants.
Mhm.
Make sure that we don't give away this information.
Give me 1 second here.
Make a influence check with Locksmith.
Okay.
And this is your organization, so it won't run the risk of losing a point.
9.
9?
I rolled like shit. I'll believe point that.
Okay.
Well, I mean, Serenity is good for 1 hour of Pass Without Trace a day. What about Mahogany?
Yeah, Mahogany can pass without trace.
That's
as much as
better.
you want.
19.
Okay. Tapping your Locksmith network, what you're able to do is set up a disinformation network that can cover
cool.
your comings and goings to and from Sigil.
That's cool. I like that.
So when you
But
guys
not
are ready
just not just me. It's for everybody.
for your group, for anybody traveling with you specifically. So unless you want to, nobody will know how you came or left, or what portal you used, where you went, or why.
That's perfect.
Does anybody
this
else?
isn't. Yeah, this isn't an on. This is a once we get off Sigil sort of thing.
Mhm.
During the 3 weeks, can we hunt something down? Because I'm dry on blood.
Yeah, what would you
Yeah,
like to
plenty of
hunt?
stuff on Shurok.
Yeah, there's probably stuff you can hunt in Shurok.
Think of like the kinds of things you could find in like the Canadian wilderness.
Oh, we just got a moose.
I would like to point out, by the way, I've got good news and bad news for Nodal. The good news is Volo's Guide has stats for the Cranium Rat, and it is a beast. The bad news is you would turn into one Cranium Rat, which is no use to anybody.
Are there any other beasts in Volo's Guide, though?
There's a couple. I checked because that was one of the first things I was wondering about. There's not a lot. And there's not like
Damn it.
there's no good high level stuff either.
There's like
God
6
damn
new
it.
kinds of dinosaurs.
What the fuck?
He's messing.
No, I see that as being
No, they're-
absolutely true.
There are 6 new kinds of dinosaurs in the Volo's Guide.
Was it really?
There's like 6 new stat blocks.
Brick, you gotta show me a dinosaur at some point, man.
Not on Bitopia, I don't. Yeah, let me pop it open here. Yeah, there's not really a lot. Everything in here is a monstrosity. There's a lot of aberrations.
There's new aurochs.
Yeah,
there's
we
cows. Rose are in there. They're beasts.
Dimetrodon, Brontosaurus, Deinonychus,
Deinonychus.
Is it Deinonychus?
Yeah, I used to be a dinosaur nerd.
Oh, there's a Velociraptor in here. Oh, Velociraptor, challenge rating 1/4.
Does it have feathers?
Yes, of course. It has pack tactics, too.
That's great.
That's good.
Quetzalcoatlus? I guess it's
Yeah.
like a snake thing, maybe?
Well, isn't that
It's a
magical
flying-
beast?
I'm picturing a coatl. That's
Yeah,
challenge rating
oh.
2. Stegosaurus is challenge rating 4. How high can you go?
I
Challenge
mean,
rating 5 is him.
Yeah, no, how high can Mahogany wild shape?
theoretically, at this point in time, 3.
3, okay.
The issue is that once you pass 2, there's not really anything like that's tenable. Like, you get a lot of weird, like, underwater creatures, and it's just like, well, I mean, I could turn into a whale, I guess. I don't see that being super useful in a tower.
Like, part of me wants to rule that the flail snail is a beast. Just to see what the hell he does with it. What a dumb monster. I can't believe they put the flail snail in this book.
Wolf of sheep's clothing. Put it in there.
It's not. I'm really bummed.
The frog hemoth is a monstrosity. But yeah,
Everything's a monstrosity.
stuff that you could find in like the Canadian wilderness. That's the kind of animals you'll be able to find on Shurok. But yeah, you can go ahead and fill up on blood.
Alright, yeah, I'll add something in a second. I'm sorry, I'm still having issues looking through things, because as said before, I don't have a keyboard at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is anybody else tending to any business in Sigil before we leave? Because we can
Just my usual stuff of preaching and conversion and all that good stuff.
Then I will go ahead and bring us to the next scene. While you
Does
guys
anyone know where
continue
in
to
these
level.
character sheets it refers to your levels for the?
You cut out
Wait,
there.
what are you looking
Does
for?
anyone know where in the character sheet you enter your current level to get the proficiency bonus to calc right?
Yeah.
It's been a little bit wonky. I've noticed lately.
I'll just put it in. I'll just manually overwrite it then.
Yeah, you might have to.
Yep.
Putting it in
Holy
level-
shit.
putting it in classes, the classes box updates everything else.
What? I was expecting not this. Okay, cool.
What were you expecting?
Oh, and I give you back your crossbow, obviously.
I guess when you
I
said
guess I'll give back
you'll
the
be the
javelin.
priest of Ostrom, I was expecting us to go to Garrison.
Oh,
Because that's-
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna meet Wheel Guy!
Wheel guy!
Because he's still alive.
Yep.
That dude was like 90 back in the day. Now,
And now he's 170. It's fantastic.
the main issue with traveling to the prime material plane is that none of you are people. One of you's made of rock. One of you's made of water. One of you... Kelian's almost a people. Like,
I'm
kind of...
a people.
That's true. Liberation would be
Why
the
didn't
most
they clip your tail?
people-like.
I am the most people of this group right now.
But does
in
Liberation
going
have
to
a
this place.
tail?
Yes, he does.
Oh, well...
Also, no one likes tieflings.
Oh yeah, it's true.
And they wouldn't even recognize Riot as a Tiefling. So,
So we're gonna rehash the.
The-
Can I?
biggest danger of traveling into the prime material plane is that you look weird as hell. Does anybody take any measures to fix that?
I know a new spell. It's a 5th level spell called Seeming.
Seeming.
Hold on.
Seeming's really good.
I have a thing. Give me a second.
You do have a
Repeat
That's
thing.
the thing. You wait. Yeah, that's right, he has
Seeming's
a
very
thing.
good.
I think he has a thing.
Me myself, I have a thing. I can't help.
Yeah, no, I know you have a thing.
Mhm.
Like I'm aware of your thing that you have.
Infiltration expertise. Here we go. Starting at 9th level, you unfailingly create false identities for yourself. You must spend 7 days and 25 gold pieces to establish the history, profession, and affiliations of an identity.
Oh, you did that before. You
Yeah.
did.
Yeah,
You were
but that-
next level then.
That won't help us with like what we look like.
Thereafter, if you adopt the identity as a disguise, other creatures believe you to be that person until given an obvious reason not to. And I do have
Sir,
a disguise kit.
Sir, you are
so-
golden and glowing. I do not think.
But he can use that ability to make himself look not golden and glowing.
Yeah, more human than.
Well, I'll tell you what I've got is Seeming, which is a spell that lets you change the appearance of any number of creatures that you can see within range, and it lasts 8 hours.
And do they have to stay within the 30 feet of you? I haven't read the whole spell
as
yet.
I can tell.
Yeah, it just says the spell lasts for the duration. Okay.
Yeah.
So the question is, well, 2 questions really. First of all, does anybody not want to go along with Riot Seeming? And second of all, Riot, what do you make these jokers look like?
Listen, Riot has never been to a prime material plane, not once.
Yes, you have.
No, that's right. No,
Yeah.
and that's what I was getting to. And I've been to one, and all that there were gnomes.
So are you saying we need to look like gnomes?
We might need. Wait. I can
How do you make us
seem
look like gnomes?
1 foot shorter or taller, so I don't think I can make you look like
Yeah, I don't
gnomes.
think we can- I don't think
We'll
we
be
can do
like
that.
the world's largest gnomes. Did I see any other people when I was in the Middle Bop land?
Probably, but more importantly, Koranu he informs you that the denizens of this city are predominantly human and gnome.
Okay. And there's lots of humans around.
Yes,
Sigil, right?
humans are
Yeah.
there are
I know
pox on Sigil.
I know what humans look like. What do you
Yeah.
think for?
Can you knock about 6 inches off me, by the way, when you do this? I don't think humans normally get this tall.
No, they don't. That's definitely a true thing that I know about humans.
Yeah.
They're little guys, right? Like, not quite gnomes, but...
So
Well,
if you're gonna make me
they're
look like a
nice.
if you're gonna make me look like a human, what happens to the tail? What happens to that?
Well, you gotta tuck it under.
All right, guys, don't worry about this too much. These guys are primes. They're not gonna be that hard to fool.
Yeah, exactly. They're rubes.
I really think I should just use my disguise kit. I think I'll be fine. You guys can use
Act
the
like you're
spell.
as
It's
fucking
fine.
clueless as possible, and we'll get
So,
through this.
Kelian, go ahead and make a disguise kit roll.
All right.
Now, and what are you trying to disguise yourself as? Just a human of
As a
your basic stature? Okay. And the other... And everybody else is subjecting to Riot's Seeming spell. And you're making them look mostly like humans?
Yeah.
Okay.
Keeping their same. They look kind of like how they would look if they were humans. Like Mahogany doesn't look like a water genasi. He has skin in place of water,
Mhm.
but apart from that, he looks like Mahogany.
So
Right, humans have mustaches. Make sure
It's the,
we have mustaches.
Do human women have mustaches, or is that just dwarves?
I'm pretty sure it's all of them.
I don't
Okay, I
think
guess
I've
you
ever
need a
seen a human
mustache,
woman
too.
with a mustache.
So what Riot's doing here is the Flumphscape version of Equestria Girls.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much.
I got a 24.
I'm gonna go ahead
I mean,
and
I can
not
keep the eye, or I
freeze
could
off
leave
the
it. What do you
calendar.
think?
Right, how am I ever gonna know if my most perfect shape is having a mustache if you don't give me one?
And
What do you guys say? Keep or lose the eye?
How many?
I
No.
am going to keep it because I don't want to draw attention to us, and I feel like
Actually,
Even
I think
someone-
you should-
even someone 6 inches shorter than you walking around with an eye patch is going to draw stares.
Okay.
now
Am I going to be able to see out of the illusionary eye?
Yeah, I mean it's not really there. Well, no, you won't. No, you won't.
Oh.
I'm not.
Riot.
I'm not regenerating your eye. Yeah.
Here's the problem. Like, I don't know if this makes sense to you or not, but I just tried to walk around with my tail shoved in my pants, and it feels like I've got a rod up my butt. Just
Okay,
saying.
well, how is that different from normal?
Here we go with the butts.
I mean, it's kind of a good thing because I'm not sure what I would do if I had depth perception again. Probably miss a lot of shots with my javelins.
After 3 weeks of travel through Bitopia, which, Serenity's portal goes out into Shurok, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't have to do the gravity switch. That's too bad.
That would have been fun.
After a few weeks of overland travel, which Serenity finds very pleasant, but everybody else finds to be mostly tedious, Mahogany managed to hunt whatever animal would be native to Shurok, and you eventually find the mine. And now it's time to open the portal,
All right, I'll step forward and I'll say the magic words.
which is...
Lilipihu Liluahe.
There you go.
Am I getting that right? I don't remember.
No,
if I
that's
was.
absolutely
It's-
not.
Well,
That's not it.
It's close though, right?
What's the correct way, Nodal?
Lilipihu Lilawile.
I think we need to get McLean into the
It's
Discord
Lilipihu
and get
Lilawile.
him
I remember
to
that.
school
All right.
us. I think that's exactly what we need.
The portal opens, and you all step into the prime. On the other side of the portal, the archway looks like tree roots. A healthy living tree that was purposely grown with intertwining roots piercing up out of the ground, forming the archway that you walk through. And you're standing in a very pleasant little woodland. Not unlike the woodlands you've been traveling through Bitopia for several weeks.
Yeah,
However, the
this is just
sounds betray the woodland facade. You can hear the hustle and bustle of city life somewhere just beyond the woods. So you are here at 11. Let me go ahead and let's give you guys your bearings. I'm just going to run down the list of sites that we can see.
Okay.
The city is called Blue Worm. Number 1 in the central, on the island in the middle of the river, is Osprum's High Cathedral. Number 2, sitting at the riverfront near to the cathedral, you learn is a particularly good tavern in town called Harper's Wheels.
Yeah.
Number 3, on the north side of the river over here, there are ferries that shuttle back and forth. And there are also paths across these archways and gates. Number 3 over here is the guard tower, called the Forest Serpent Tower. Number 4 is the oldest structure in the city, the Blue Wormling Tavern. Number 5 is a place that catches your ears, being Sigillians, called the Guild of Arcane Doors. Number 6 is a bazaar with strange and wondrous foreign items from a part of this world that is mostly submerged. Number 7 is a gnomish library. Number 8 is a prison. Number 9 in the center island here is the common open air market. Number 10, very notably not the largest structure in the city, is where the city seat is located, Duke Donbrick's Hall.
And that's spelled DAWNBRICK.
Donbrik. Donbrick. You can put as many apostrophes as you want. 4 archways cross the river. There are paths spanning them like bridges, but the archways are very steep and very tall. Tall enough for ships to come in underneath them. From west to east, they are named Adric's Arch, Eldov's Arch, the Flumph Arch, and Wilgelm's Arch.
Was the last one Wilhelm's Arch?
Wilgelm.
Wilhelm, yeah.
Wilgelm is the bald gnome king.
Yeah.
Another
I remember
NPC that nobody ever did anything with, and I was very sad.
Well, he's got an arch now, so he's fine.
I made him retroactively important.
You
Having
did.
an arch is pretty good.
And none of you know this yet because none of you have visited, but Nodal will appreciate it. But in the front of the Blue Wormling Tavern stands a stoic statue called Weldon.
What?
Weldon was the greatest name that anyone's in the party has ever come up with.
Weldon was Eldov's shield guardian that he rescued from the Goblin Tower,
Oh, nice.
and then parked him in front of the tavern as a
That is
statue.
right.
And he's been standing there ever since. So, number 4 here is the tavern that you guys established in the previous campaign. Number 3 is the guard tower that you established, which you plane talkers would not know. But number 3, the basement of that tower contains a magic teleportation circle that takes you halfway across this world.
Yeah. That was an inn, though, right? Not a tavern. Or did we make it a tavern?
In tavern, it's D&D or something.
So how much do we know at the moment? Like
Nothing.
all this?
Nothing.
None of this?
Not a
Well,
darn thing.
You
This is
learn
all
these locations just by kind of walking around town and getting your bearings.
That's right. That's so cute. They have a portal guild.
Nice.
They think they're people.
Hey, now we can't be that judgmental. I mean, maybe they're not as clueless as we were led to
I
believe.
wonder,
Just-
do you think they're allowed to open new portals here? Must
I
be
mean, come on. Look at it this way. I mean, like, these people, like, just figured out about portals, like, what, 60 years ago? Something like that?
That's true. That they did mention that.
How does this place smell?
Of
It-
fish?
Very, you mean the forest you're standing in?
It's this blue worm place in general. As opposed to, say, being
Very-
on Sigil.
Very pleasant because it doesn't smell anywhere near as bad as Sigil. The city is very new. There's no rundown sections of it. There's no slums. There's no hive. So to
Man.
you, very unnerving.
I was about to say, it feels like Stepford Wives.
Maybe a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
No, the structures here are all very, very new. And what you learn asking around town is that no small amount of magic aided in the creation of this place. There's no way that they would have been able to raise that high cathedral as quickly as they did without access to powerful magic.
Yeah,
You
it's
also
a clever
learn.
little island in the middle of the river here.
You also learn that the river is also new. They brought the river here from the ocean. When they first settled, there was no river nearby.
So is
Why
it
would you
salt
settle
water?
where there's
How
no
do you
river?
move a river?
How do you settle where there's not a river? What kind of idiots plan this place?
I know!
Listen,
What a bunch
there's
of
a high
morons.
there's a high temple of Osman here. There's powerful water shapers. It's got to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't think it counts like as followers if they're on a prime. So you probably outclass all these guys, right?
Could be. We'll see.
Nobody in this town anywhere has heard of Lou.
Well, of course, they're fucking Hicks. They have a high temple of Osprey.
All right. Do you guys want to stay together, or do you want to split up and do your own thing, and we'll start taking down morning actions?
It's a prime. How much dangerous could it be?
Riot
Oh,
I'll
will
see you
man.
guys at, I don't know, dinner time at the nice inn.
Before Serenity leaves, Riot outlines the conditions of the spell that they're all under.
When do
gotta
they turn into a pumpkin?
You got to
So
come
you're
back
saying-
here every 8 hours for me to refresh the spell.
Okay, what time is
Y'all
it
got to
now?
meet up again.
It's
That's
mid-morning
so-
right now.
They have a ball of fire in their sky instead of just light. Ugh.
Well, then that's how they do things on Prime. We've seen it.
yeah, I know, I've seen it. It still weirds me out. I think when it's about there will be 8 hours, and she'll sort of spread her two arms pointing to two different positions. From what I remember the last time I was on one of these.
Yeah, I don't know what time it is. Just use your best guess.
Okay.
Whatever.
Like they have clocks.
I vote for meeting up at the nice inn.
Clocks.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if these people heard of a clock.
Which one was the nice one?
I'll be there.
That wasn't
Harper's
the older
Wheels
one, right?
The Harper's Wheel. Yeah.
is known as the largest and best tavern in town.
And the Central Island.
Oh yeah, it's on the south end
Is
of
it?
the Central
It's an inn as well as a tavern, right?
Yes, there are lodgings.
TV, they're the same thing.
There are lodgings
Second
at both
Serenity.
places.
Let me make sure the clouds aren't going to block out the sky ball. And I cast Druidcraft to make sure what the weather is going to be like in the next 24 hours.
Sunny and pleasant.
And the little sun appears, and I look at it for a second, and I go, "That's what that is!"
I am legitimately impressed, Mahogany. We've learned something. Wow.
So it seems early-ish. Let's meet just a little bit after peak.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait,
All right,
isn't
so-
it
Which
already
roughly-
peak?
And she'll grab your arm and point it up to an empty point in the sky where a little bit to the west of where the sun is. About there.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Alright.
What's your morning action?
High Temple of Ostrom, obviously. Gonna press fish with my peoples.
What is Kelian's?
Well, let's see what this little fun little curious shop is. Curious Bazaar.
Okay. Liberation.
I'm gonna wander off toward this direction on the south end. Just kind of wander that way and
So-
maybe work my way around just kind of. What's that?
Guild of Arcane Doors.
Yeah, that sounds like a good place to start.
Okay. Serenity.
When Serenity was interested in the guild too, so.
And Mahogany.
I'm going to walk straight across, swim under the bay, and come out over here.
Going
Well,
where?
Over to 7.
To the
Killian
Gnomish
was
Library.
also curious about the guild, but he was going to do it later. But since everyone's
Wait, this is the
going,
library?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
fuck
Serenity
that.
doesn't say
I'll go
that
to
she's-
6.
Serenity doesn't say that she's going there. She just starts walking that direction.
I go to the library, and I see the books, and I'm just like, oh, never mind.
Okay. And so,
Well,
Kelian,
what
you
about-
changed your mind?
well, does Liberation say anything?
No, not really. I mean,
Okay.
Fuck all y'all.
if
Be
you want
that
to come,
way.
it's cool. Whatevs.
Mahogany shows up dripping wet, Kelian, while you're looking at stuff. Oh, hey, Kelian. Wait, Kylin? That's a name, right?
We don't need aliases. So we're on a prime. We're gonna
Right,
be fine.
because these are our real names. And Mahogany taps the side of his nose.
So you guys have on the edge of the river here. It's an open air bazaar, stalls and things set up, little shops, and it's a district of town that caters to imports from a part of the world where a lot of underwater races live. Tritons, merfolk, water genasi, that kind of thing. And that's what you find here.
Kelian looks at Mahogany. If there's any sort of interest, since he's the water genasi.
Most of the people you kind of bump into while you're here are people who regard the items for sale as extremely curious. There's a lot of very exotic, especially seafood. Massive, massive seafood market. But little curios and keepsakes.
Yeah, I'll go up to a seafood guy, and I'll say, like, so, did you dive in there and get this yourself?
And he's a Triton, and he assures you he actually did.
I said, good on you. I'll take some. What's the freshest seafood you got here?
He points to an octopus that's still alive.
And Mahogany thinks about it for about a fraction of a second, and he's like, yeah, okay.
So you could purchase his wares for a couple of silvers.
Yeah.
I will give you the same option I always give when you guys go to a bazaar. You can spend 20 gold for a non-magical curiosity to be defined at a later date, if you like. With the caveat that this curiosity has to be connected in some way to Aqueous, which is the underwater section of Trennis.
Yeah, that's what I was literally going to ask. Is it okay if I buy a second one with the understanding that this
Yeah.
is going to be some dumb Aqueous thing?
Sure.
Okay, great.
And so what you learn while you're here is that it's actually very rare for these races to trade with the land peoples. But that many years ago, one of the founders of this city, through great pain and effort, established those relationships very early and then worked hard to maintain them for many years.
Sounds like good business to me.
I don't know if you guys would have it. Maybe McDohl would, having lived in not only Florida, but Orlando specifically. Like, if you've ever been to Florida and been in one of, like, the kitschy, like, hey, we sell Florida stuff, tourist trap. That's kind of what this area of town is.
Yeah, I've been to Florida before, and I know what that's like.
No, I've been to Key West.
So Kelian buys a blue worm keychain and shot glass.
Right. Nothing is more adorable than a Floridian going with like an out-of-town relative to one of their stores and be like, "Oh, it's a T-shirt with palm trees on it." It's adorbs. And my mother-in-law totally bought a shot glass. I shit you not. Had little fish and a sun.
Keeping that in mind, and then also keeping in mind who Mahogany is and where he's from, he's going to go, so where do you guys keep the good shit? You know, the stuff for the locals.
And that's not... They don't really keep the good shit here, because much in the same way that Americans prefer Taco Bell to authentic Mexican food, the people of Blue Worm prefer the bastardized version of Aqueous cuisine and whatnot to the real thing.
So if I want to come, I should just swim down there? Like, can I mention your name? Get me an in?
You can go to fantasynamegenerators.com. Now, the Volo's guide is technically not out yet, so it's possible they don't have a Triton name generator yet.
Well, I'm just saying, keep in mind that Mahogany is saying he's going to swim down there while he is very much visibly a human.
Kelian was going to give Mahogany a shifty glance, like,
The Triton doesn't seem phased. He says it's a dangerous journey, but the strong of heart are able to make it, and you will find no finer peoples on this world than the peoples of the depths of Aqueous.
That sounds fantastic. Hey, where are we staying, Kelian? Hey, if you come by later, we'll buy you a drink.
I assume the tavern.
Gee, it would have been nice if somebody in the last campaign says your fabulous underwater world sounds fantastic and we want to visit. No, we want to go to the desert.
To be fair, none of those characters could breathe water.
That's true.
Yeah.
Why be fair?
But no, very notably, actually, he doesn't seem fazed by the fact there's a human standing here just nonchalantly saying, hey, maybe I should swim down. But yeah, he sells you an octopus and a 20 gold piece trinket to be decided at a later date. Is Kelian also buying a trinket?
Probably.
Okay.
I really got to think about what he would buy, though.
For the record, there's absolutely nothing here you could not get really easily in Sigil.
Sure, but...
I mean, Aqueous is cute, but you guys have the plane of water.
Yeah. I mean,
I went to the Prime and all I got was a stupid t-shirt. Kind
Listen, I'm willing to respect these people who are smart enough to build a city underwater.
Look, it's a gate key with palm trees on it. Serenity and Liberation.
Hey.
You arrive at a building called the Guild of Arcane Doors. And the people who tend to this guild it's obviously a foreign building. The architecture doesn't match the rest of the city. The humans who are here tending to it, there are no gnomes in this part of the city. The people there, they have much darker skin. They're wearing much different clothes than the other people you're seeing in town. But they greet you warmly as you pass.
Howdy.
And they greet you warmly.
Yeah.
So is your guild open to the public?
And they tell you that the guild is an established Keyskin guild Kiska being a trade partner with Blue Worm from across the ocean.
Huh.
And that they have the pleasure of serving Mehi Maibi, who is an emissary to Kiska.
So you just do trade, caravans and stuff? Ships, I take it?
They say that trade with Blue Worm is facilitated through a magical door that was opened close to the founding of this city.
Okay.
So you're saying there's a whole other city through a door somewhere? Do I have to pay to go through it? Is there a toll?
There's not a toll, but it's also not public. Unless you have trade relations with one of the merchants who has business going back and forth. A lot of what Bloomworm sends through is lumber, which Kiska has very little of. That is
I guess, yeah.
So why haven't you cut down those trees, like, I don't know, the ones over to the west?
And she says that those woods are very important to one of the founders of the city. That as the city grew, after the land was split and the river was created, that it was very important to the Duke at the time that the forest be within the city walls, that there be a safe place inside the city boundaries that people and gnomes could enjoy the woodlands.
I guess that makes sense.
There's many, many miles of forest in all directions around Blue Worm on both sides of the river, which are felled and replanted with the seasons.
So you guys facilitate the travel between this place and this Kiska place?
Not travel, trade. Specifically, they're here to oversee Kiska's interests as far as trade with Blue Worm. What's your guys' passive insight?
11, I believe.
13.
As you're discussing their purpose here, discussing trade with Kiska and whatnot, they seem to be very guarded. Like, they're not... You don't get the sense they're hiding anything from you, but you get the sense also that it's not the full story.
Okay.
But yes, after this magic circle was placed down, which doesn't lead to Kiska, by the way. It leads further inland. Kiska is on the coasts. There's a river that runs up into the continent across the ocean. And there's a city at the end of that river, which is where the magic door leads. And it's through that where trade with Kiska is facilitated. Their guild was founded to see to Kiska's interests as far as that trade is concerned.
Alrighty.
I could not for the life of me find my spreadsheet with all the Kiska guilds. I looked really hard and couldn't find it.
Oh, man.
This was before I started doing everything just in Google Sheets.
Google Sheets, more like.
Well, you shared that sheet with us at some point. I
Yeah, I
don't
feel
remember.
like I've
If
seen
one
it.
of you have it, I would love to get it. Do you guys...
My history after the game.
Anything else you guys poke around in at the Guild of Arcane Doors?
Not really, too.
Okay. Riot. What are you telling people your name is?
Clivia.
Okay. And which of these two arches do you walk over? Or do you just swim across?
I'll just swim across
Okay.
because I've got that swim speed.
Good.
And that's by the way is the one part of myself that I'm not disguising. Like I look like Riot with regular skin and no fur on my legs, but I kept the fin
Okay.
because that's like Osprum's gift to me, and like I figured that'll be a good in with it.
As you arrive at the center island and you're making your way up to the High Cathedral, you see many acolytes of Osprey wearing robes similar to yours that are not nearly as nice. And they regard you with great reverence as you approach. Without even having to conduct yourself in a certain way. Like, you're wearing expensive robes and bearing her holy symbol and carrying the Kodrashi fork, which even if they don't know what that is, it's still very clearly one of the symbols of Osprim.
Yeah, it's a trident.
You're being treated as though you are a important foreign dignitary here to meet with the High Priest.
And Riot basically considers herself to be that, so everything's good.
Hey, Burko, just a heads up. Check in your aim. I found
Yeah,
the
I found
keys
it.
get
I
thing.
pasted it in.
Sweet, you guys are
I pasted
awesome.
it in Twitch chat.
Oh, you put it in
Oh,
Twitch chat,
so I
okay.
must have made this into a Google Sheet at one point.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw a Google sheet of it.
All right,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, you can add the Guild of Arcane Doors to that list now, because there's at least one new guild. You guys are the best. You learn 3 things about the High Priest. Number 1, you learn that he's very old. Number 2, you learn that he has 0, and I mean 0 tolerance for any kind of bullshit. And 3, you learn that he does not spare a second of his day for people he does not believe are worth his time. What is Riot's passive insight?
Riot's passive insight is... Let me get back to my character sheet here, because I was on the Guild of Kisna. 16.
Another thing that you learn just about the followers of Osprim in general is that there are waves of joy sweeping through the acolytes. There are smaller temples located outside of the High Cathedral to some of the lesser gods of the pantheon that Osprim resides in, none of which you know. Not water gods, just gods in general.
Any Zerbo?
No, Zerbo's dead. Zerbo's gone. And you know why they're feeling this elation, how there's kind of like a golden age of Osprim sweeping through, because you personally know that Osprim was on the brink of death, and you effectively brought her back from that, which means these acolytes and priests of Osprim here are experiencing abilities that they thought they had lost.
All right.
And so you are, without any fuss, are granted entry into the cathedral. But not necessarily an audience with the high priest. First, somebody's going to want to know your business there.
Okay. I will tell him it has to do... I'm wondering, like, how much should I drop here?
Everything.
It has to do with his old captain.
And that's it? That's what I tell him?
He'll know. He'll understand.
The boy says, begging your pardon, ma'am, but if that's all I tell him, I'm like to get a clout on the ear.
Tell him it's to do with that, and to do with the future of Osprim.
And the boy doesn't question you further, because you're very clearly a high priest yourself. But
Clearly.
he also looks resigned to getting a clout on the ear, because he's going to roll up in the high priest and be like, some lady's here to see you. She says it's about your captain and the future of Osprim. Please don't hit me.
And yet he will be hit anyway.
You earned a hit. You got that hit. That's the Osprim way.